back online here on this April 3rd, 2015. We're back on the recording scene here. About to record another episode in Abena's world. And you know, actually Abena's world is my mind, the thoughts and the feelings that I experience along with the thoughts in terms of behaviors. It's a cycle. Thought, feeling, thought, feeling, thought, feeling. Thought, feeling, behavior. Even when that behavior is to think again and then do, because then I will share with you what I've done and what I think about what I've done and what I think about doing next based on what I feel about what I've done. And that's how it works and how we are sort of set up to have fun here under the sun. Under the sun, where we come from, someplace above the sun, where we look down at the sun, now we're in a position to look up at the sun. Hence the association to the male orientation of this world. And I suppose in large part that is likely to be the primary influence. Well, we do know that the male energy is the primary influence here on planet Earth, and influencing an influential practice and message and perspective. So all from a male perspective, and as a result, being in a female body puts me in a position to have the experiences that I have, that I am in a position with the need to talk about and to share in order to heal and repair the damage done to my female energy. For in this world, the male energy first and foremost works to attack the female energy in order to maintain function. Then there's some shit that I have to get off my chest about the experiences that I'm having here in this planet. Things that are traumatic, that is, they are out of the ordinary, supposedly out of the ordinary, and maybe that's why the system will not focus so much on, well, the societal acts and activities that cause the people harm. For those are not seen as out of the ordinary. They are normal. They are not beyond the norm to be, for the people to be harmed by the societal level decisions, which have a direct and negative impact on the people. When you raise the rent, when you charge people money because they're not able to afford health care, for example, that is a societal level decision by a person and persons who places of work as they worry about their health care coverage and if they can maintain it and what will happen if and when they lose it. And what they must do and the experiences that they have when they are working to obtain the resources that they need to protect themselves from the lawmakers and the outcome if they are out of compliance with that law. And as a result, the people are further harmed. That is what is known as traumatic stress of the human intentional type, for when laws are made and passed and supported which we know will cause mental and or emotional harm and thereby physical, because we know that when people experience a significant amount of mental and emotional harm, they are at risk for doing physical harms to themselves or others. Yet, because we are under the sun and under the rule of the male energy, and they're thinking and functioning, and more specifically that male energy, which apparently was an incomplete energy, for it is not paired with the female energy, thereby producing non-colored or uncolored with the emotional strength of the female, the woman. And because they do not have it, it seems that they have suggested that it is not a good thing to have, because they don't have it. White people do not have that natural, healthy female energy feeling state. They have the male, they have the logical state, and folks of African descent have both naturally. And they are unnatural, and that's based on research and research conducted by others, as well as my own personal research, anecdotal data supported by scientific study. Leads me to conclude that it's true what Dr. Ani has uncovered about the Yoruba and their acili, their cultural acili, how it functions, why, we experience what we experience. We are also in an experience whereby that energy, that cultural acili that the European functions with, does not support truth-telling, because primarily it seems that the purpose and the plan is to first and foremost, or they just are sort of somehow smarter. There's been no effort to debunk, it seems to me, those early teachings here in the United States about the differences between white and black folks. And because there's been no discussion, there's no opportunity to heal and restore any social order, at least not any social order for the African. The social order of the European is maintained when they do not and we do not support the truth-telling and the truth of our cultural stories and our cultural selves. For their fear of that truth does not tolerate hearing it, cannot, will not. Their fear of the feelings that are triggered, they're not able to manage. Why? Because they have no true female energy, emotional feeling state. And they know that. Now, they've been around us long enough at this time to present as if they group, and even within their group, it's done in a way that seemingly does not support long-term change for us, or any type of significant change for us, for our experiences continue to mirror their early thoughts and beliefs of us, that they must keep us in a suppressed position, that they have a right to murder us at will when need be, and that they get together and process those terrible things that they have done with each other towards us, so that they understand themselves better and are able to work together with each other better, and maintains their system, and it gives them an outlet for their emotional stress, almost like police get a pass, and when they harm other folks, black and or white, they are not held primarily accountable, because it's known the amount of stress that the folks at this level experience, and so they get that pass, being their government officials and being in a position to implement the government's plan, and they are supported. Police officers, many believe social workers are, and many are, as long as they're doing things the way the system wants them to do. if and when a social worker begins to practice outside of that, then they are punished and penalized, and hence that brings it all around the corner and back to me being a social worker, being a black female social worker. So this is like another strike. I'm female and black. I'm sort of familiar with how the system works, being a social worker and having studied in their academies. And that's what puts me in this place whereby I am here talking to you, talking to myself while talking to you, and having no one else to talk to, and being cornered and ignored. Baby has been put in the corner. This black baby, and put in a corner on the shelf, untouched, undesired, passed by time and time again, and left. Sort of like the toys, what they call them, toys? You know, the reject toys that get sent to the island and never picked to be played with or to be, you know, to engage. Land of Lost Toys, or I forget what it was called, but that is the experience that I am having. Being this very bright spiritual light and being that I am, a very crystal clear mirror that will support folks with seeing themselves so that they can begin to actively address the parts of themselves that they dislike. Yet instead of doing that, they choose to hide the truth, lie, deny that the wounds are there, push me away and run away from me and report there's a divergent go-getter. She makes me see myself. We don't want that. She forces truth telling. We don't want that. I'm with you guys. That's what the black folks say, and the white folks just recognize, there's a divergent getter. Many of them have been around us long enough such that they have been influenced and infected by that energy. And there's a process, it seems, of conversion for them, and maybe even, I believe, that that's in part their plan, to be with us long enough to convert. And they are practically complete with that process, it seems. The way they're killing us off. Maybe it's too many of us and they're overwhelmed with the amount of energy that's pumping them. So, you know, it's so much that I think about, and so much that I'm forced to think about as I'm forced into a position of being isolated from family, community, and societal level activities. So it's just me connected with spirit and self. And this is what goes on in my mind. As I move through my space, doing the things that we need to do, cooking, cleaning, and working to plan, it's difficult to sit and write a plan and put the things that I think and feel and am saying in writing, because of the active and ongoing harm that I experience and the lack of support, limited resources of support. No family support, no communal support, and no societal supports to do the job of writing a book for others to benefit from. So here I am, raw, real, uncut, you know, my own reality spot and segment and moment and show here on YouTube, recording in my own home, in my recovery zone of Racism Non-Anonymous. And it is a program that supports and encourages sharing of experiences, and I have simply shared some thoughts about some of the experiences that I am having as a woman. I force-fed a false cultural, a silly story about who we are, what we are, and who they are, and what they are. And in order for me to correct that, then I must remember and tell the truth about the events that I have found to be terrible in my life. And so I thank you for listening to me share. And the floor is certainly open for you to share your thoughts and feelings on that topic and or another.